Hi, Sosteen here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today I want to talk about a TV show and the costuming in it. The TV show in question, of course, is Harlots. It is on Hulu. They just finished season 3, and the costumes are amazing. They're beautiful, colorful, vibrant, and in my opinion, it's 1780s meets punk rock scene, and it's so delightful to see so much vibrancy and life brought to the 18th century. In particular, my favorite dress is the pink and white striped dress that Lucy Wells wears, and I love this dress so much. Let me just show a quick clip. So the show is about prostitutes, and in particular they're called harlots back in the 18th century. And in this scene, Lucy Wells is running around London with several culls, or Johns as we know them, chasing after her, doing silly things to try to win her favor. And it really establishes her as the prostitute of the day, the most popular, the most established, the most desirable harlot. And the dress really adds to that by showing just how wealthy she is, just how beautiful, vibrant, young, and just overall decadent. The dress itself is pink and white striped with that little lace along the fringe, and I fell in love with it instantaneously. I wanted it. So Richard Cooke is the designer, and he's on Instagram and he follows me. So I went ahead and asked him where he got the fabric. Hopkins Fabric. I messaged them, offer them money. They don't want it. They only sell to trade. I have my friend in trade message them. They're not going to sell to her either. So at this point, I kind of gave up. I was like, oh God, if I can't get the fabric and I can't find it anywhere else or anything even similar, it's not really going to have the same charm. So I held off, at least for now. About a month or two ago, Richard Cooke messaged me and said, hey, I've got the dress. I want to sell the dress. Do you want to buy the dress? And I totally did. And it's here. And it's amazing. And it's so, so beautiful. And not only did I get the dress and the gown, I also got the quilted petticoat. Thank you, husband. And thank you, Richard Cooke, for thinking of me. Your costumes are amazing. So not only do I have the dress, this is the craziest part. The dress actually fits. I am the same measurement as Lucy Wells. I can't even. So anyways, I'm going to talk a little bit about the construction of this dress, what I learned from this dress, and mostly you're just going to see me wearing the dress a lot. So let's take a closer look at the innards and construction of the harlot's gown. Here I'm opening up the dress, which is held together with hooks and eyes in the front. They are approximately 1.5 inches apart. They are hidden with the silk bows, which are closed with snaps. At this point, I do want to point out the beautiful pink and white lace that's hand sewn to the edge of the gown. There is one piece of boning on each side of the front of the gown, which is only in the lining. It is only visible from the inside and actually does a very good job of keeping the bodice firm and laying flat, even when moving around a lot. The gown itself is made of a silk organza with a base of raw silk. It's not quite silk taffeta and it's very soft, but it's a little firmer than lining fabric. The two pieces are sewn together and move as one piece throughout the gown. In the skirt, you'll notice that the two layers are pleated together. The bodice has the two pieces on the outside and a layer of cotton duck fabric that gives it some more stiffness and strength, and then it's lined with a soft silk on the inside. The sleeve is set in the normal, not period correct 18th century method, and the inside seam is actually finished off with some bias tape. There appears to be remnants of padding around the shoulder so the dress would wrinkle less as you move your arms. I'm actually a little sad that the padding has been removed because I would love to see how it actually works. The skirt of the gown is hand-hemmed, then sewn onto the bodice. The top of the skirt is not left raw, as you would frequently see in a lot of extants from the 18th century, but trimmed and covered with lining. The skirt is 100 inches wide. There are 2 velvet ribbons that are sewn into closed loops that hold the skirt in perpetual polonaise style. The petticoat is 90 inches around and actually not sewn in the traditional 18th century method with a front and a back that close with linen ties. This is actually a full skirt with a clip in the back. There is a 24-inch waist, which is quite tight on me, but because it's a little tighter than I would normally have it, it guarantees that the skirt does not slip downwards as you wear it longer and longer. The fabric itself is a silk madelasse, which looks quilted but is not actually quilted. It's actually only visible as a non-quilted fabric when you look at it from the back. It's hemmed and not lined. Overall, the construction of the gown is polished, beautiful, and clearly used hand sewing on all visible portions of the gown. There's not a single machine stitch visible from the outside. So let's talk now about what I actually learned from the Harlots gown. One thing I was really impressed with was how the bodice never wrinkled no matter how much I moved. And I'll show you this motion again right now, and you'll just see how it doesn't really wrinkle when I move. And it really was true whether I was bouncing up and down or leaning back. So I decided that I was going to try to emulate that in one of my own dresses. In particular, I think that's due to the fact that there is the boning in the front of the gown. It's just one piece of boning, but it seemed to add a lot of strength to it. So anyways, I decided to add this to the pink gown I've been working on for the past 2 months. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly which one it is. It's the pink one with all the embroidery. Here I am wearing it, and you can see that it actually does wrinkle quite a bit in the front of the bodice. So here I am adding the boning. First, I went ahead and unstitched the front, and then I added a 3/8 inch channel with machine in the lining only. I added whalebone to the front, and then I went ahead and whip stitched the whole thing down, the lining to the front of the bodice. I then pinned myself back into the gown, and here you can see me wearing it and twirling in it, and as you can see, it got a lot better. So the method does work. Mine wasn't perfect, unlike the Harlots, and I think that's due to a lot of things, including failures of my own construction, but at the same time, it did help the problem quite a bit, so I highly recommend this method as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys.